Aloha and welcome to today's monthly show, Maunalua, Past, Present and Future. I'll be your host today, Miranda Rudegeair, with Beach Environmental Awareness Campaign Hawaii, also known as B.E.A.C.H. With me today are the co-founders of B.E.A.C.H, Suzanne Frazer and Dean Otsuki. Hello.
Hello.
You guys will be talking with me today about plastics and chemicals, so welcome. Suzanne, can you tell us a little bit about B.E.A.C.H and the organisation's mission and when you started?
Yes, Dean and I co-founded B.E.A.C.H Environmental Awareness Campaign Hawaii in 2006, and it's an all-volunteer non-profit that brings awareness and solutions to plastic marine debris. And how we do that is through environmental education in schools in the community, marine debris removal and research, and plastic reduction and litter prevention campaigns, all for the purpose of inspiring actions on an individual and community level that save and protect Hawaii's marine life, seabirds and ocean coastal environment.
Wow, it sounds like you've been busy.
We have. It's been a very busy 10 years.
Yeah, wow. Dean, can you tell us a little bit about your past projects?
Yeah, well, actually we've done water bin recycling at state parks and city parks. We had a plastic cap and lid recycling program before. And currently we are doing plastic marine debris sorting, actually microplastics, which is 5 millimeters or less. Mm-hmm. And if people want to volunteer for our sorting activity, volunteer activity, you can reach us at 393-2168 and help us volunteer and sort this plastic out.
Beautiful.
And I'll just add, besides the recycling projects, we've also done lots of art and science projects in schools, raising awareness of the impacts of marine debris on marine life. We've removed over 80,000 pounds of plastic marine debris from shorelines all throughout Hawaii. We've supported a number of state and county bills to help reduce plastics and prevent litter. So we've really been focusing on the plastic from the Great Pacific Garbage Patch and reducing and preventing that.
Wow, that's a feat.
Yes, so that's right.
What are you focusing on at the moment?
So as Dean mentioned, we're sorting out microplastic debris, and we're also going to be doing lots of outreach for Earth Month. It's actually our membership month. We run from Earth Day to Earth Day. So we encourage people to become a member of B.E.A.C.H and support us. Mm-hmm. And there's plenty of volunteer opportunities also doing outreach, doing research and microplastic sorting. Those are our current volunteer opportunities.
Okay, so how can people get involved to volunteer?
Oh, yes, so they should just contact us. We have a website that we'll be showing at the end of the program, and that has information on our email and phone numbers, or they can see us at an outreach event and sign up then.
Beautiful. Okay, so let's get into the episode about plastics and unhealthy chemicals. Can you share with our viewers the work that you've been doing?
Yes, so it's really important that everyone learns about the chemicals in plastics, not just for protecting the environment and marine life, but also for their own health. And it's really important that people know that we're living in this plastic society now, and there's plastic everywhere, and as the viewers just saw the picture of the plastic on the beach, and we have to do all that we can to reduce that plastic load. Unfortunately, there's some misinformation out there about plastic being green. Plastic is never green. Unfortunately, this stuff lasts forever. It doesn't biodegrade. It just breaks down into smaller and smaller pieces in the sun, but it never goes away. So it's unfortunately, there's a lot of greenwashing going on out there. And there's also confusion about the term plastic. Compostable plastics made from plant-based fibers are called plastic, and then you've got the petrochemical plastics that are made with chemicals. So in today's episode, we're going to be talking and focusing on the petrochemical plastics and some of those dangerous chemicals that are in those and what to avoid. So Dean, can you get started on
sure.
number one?
Yeah, so the number one plastic are those like those plastic water bottles or those Coke plastic water bottles. They're called, the plastic is called polyethylene terephthalate, or PET or PET plastic. And the chemical that you have to watch out for in that is called antimony, and it's similar to lead. It's a regulated contaminant that poses acute and chronic health effects in drinking water. And actually, antimony is considered a carcinogen by the International Agency for Research on Cancer, which is part of the World Health Organization. There's a study done in Arizona recently where these bottled waters were tested at different temperatures, and they found that the higher the temperature, the more antimony leaked into the water. And so that's really a serious concern for us in Hawaii, because we have similar temperatures that are in Arizona. So, you know, if you're drinking out of these plastic water bottles or the Coke bottles or similar to that, you know, you really need to either not drink out of the plastic water bottles and use a reusable water bottle, or just don't use those at all.
Right.
And so I meant to say before we got started that all plastic products contain chemicals. That's how they're made. So they add these chemicals to either make it soft or hard or flame retardant or some kind of a quality. But the chemicals don't stay in the plastic. So as people just saw the photo of the plastic water bottles on the truck, they're in the heat, and that's what brings out the chemical antimony into the plastic water bottles.
Ah, okay.
So moving on now to number 3, plastic. So we're talking about those triangles on the plastic items with the numbers in them. So number 1 is antimony, number 3 is PVC or polyvinyl chloride. Unfortunately, this is the worst plastic we have on the planet. It's also known as the poison plastic. It's the least recyclable. It's the most harmful to both health and the environment. And it's made from vinyl chloride, which the EPA lists as a Class A human carcinogen, meaning that it's proven to cause cancer in humans.
Yeah.
And we have a great short animated cartoon about PVC. It's funny and informative at the same time. So let's watch Sam Suds. You can actually find Sam Suds on our website. If you look at the front page and scroll down, and you'll see the icon there, and you can just click on that, and up comes the video.
I was running out of time, and the stakes couldn't have been higher. You see, my job is protecting the Johnson household from dangerous toxins. Yeah, I'd been a hero in the past, locking away household killers like lead and DDT. But now I was facing the most dangerous toxic offender yet, PVC, the poison plastic, also known as vinyl. But the trail had gone cold. Who was this killer with 1,000 faces? Where in the house was he hiding? And how do you nail a suspect you can't even ID? Word around the bathroom was I was washed up. And then she floated in.
Sam Suds.
What can I do for you, duckface?
It's this rubber ducky I've been seeing. He seemed nice enough at first, but I'm starting to suspect that he ain't made of rubber.
What are you saying?
I'm saying I think he's PVC.
Now she had my interest. What makes you think he's PVC, ma'am?
Look at this.
Yeah, it's little Timmy Johnson chewing on your boyfriend's head. So, what of it?
Look closer.
Say, what gives? There's a 3 on this duck's butt.
What do you think it means, Sam?
I don't know, Sweet Feathers. Where can I find this character?
He usually hangs out under the faucet by the bathtub.
Thanks.
Sam, be careful.
Things were starting to bubble up, and I was working myself into a lather. So here I was, looking for some squeaky toy in the seediest part of town where soap wasn't always welcome. The place stunk like a new shower curtain.
What do you want?
I'm looking for PVC. Does this mean anything to you?
It's a kid chewing on a duck.
Yeah, we're past that. What do you make of that 3?
I don't know nothing.
Maybe this'll jog your memory, Squirt.
Yeah, okay. That 3 is the mark of PVC. You see that 3, you know it's the poison plastic.
What else? Spill it.
Okay. PVC is toxic from start to finish, in the factory, at home, and in the trash. You can't even recycle PVC. It contaminates and ruins other recyclable plastics. But worst of all, PVC releases poisonous chemicals linked to cancer and birth defects.
It was worse than I thought. How could they make a little innocent ducky out of PVC?
Hey, Suds, you looking for me?
Give me one good reason why I shouldn't flush you right now.
What good would it do you? This bathroom is full of PVC.
That's a lie. The Johnsons and I have this place under close watch, see?
The Johnsons? They're the ones who are bringing in all the PVC. Every time they go shopping, just look at this list. Bottles, toys, shower curtains, even the new siding on the house. You know that new shower curtain smell? That's the smell of toxic chemicals being released.
It was the Johnsons all along. But how could it be? Didn't they know to look for the three? There was no time to lose. This case is closed, Duckface. PVC won't be a problem in this house anymore.
How'd you do it, Sam?
I just helped the Johnsons cut it off at the source. There's plenty of safe alternatives out there. No need for this family to buy the poison plastic anymore.
So I hope you enjoyed that. Dean's going to talk further about PVC.
Yeah, PVC is toxic all the way from the manufacturing of the product all the way to the end use. First of all, PVC requires hazardous chemicals like chlorine, and PVC production uses the most amount of chlorine in the world to make this product. And other very hazardous chemicals like dioxins and PCBs are byproducts of the same production. And some of the damage stabilizers of PVC are lead, cadmium, and phthalates. And these chemicals are released into the air and water and contaminates local water and land sources. And a lot of the petrochemical companies that produce PVC are based in Louisiana, and they've actually had to buy out residents' homes near the factories just because it's so toxic in that area, and people are getting cancer and all types of autoimmune diseases, and these companies know that, and that's why they're offering money for these people to move out, because it's so dangerous. And also, when these toxins get released in the air, they go all around the world. So, you know, it could be anywhere. It could be even in Hawaii. So the food or the water that we're drinking could have dioxins from these manufacturing plants. Yeah.
Wow.
So you saw from the video that PVC is used in the production of things like vinyl shower curtains and children's toys like rubber duckies. But it can also be in cling wrap, so people want to buy PVC-free cling wrap. And what we're finding now is that they're using it in building materials, in fences, and these PVC plastic fences are popping up all over East Honolulu. In fact, all over this island, you can see these vinyl fences. The wooden ones are being torn down and the plastic ones are going up. And I think we're showing some photographs of the various plastic fences that are in East Honolulu right now. And unfortunately, the vinyl companies are tricking people into believing that these vinyl fences are green and that they're 100% recyclable at any point in time. Actually, PVC is the antithesis of green, according to the Healthy Building Network's report on polyvinyl chloride. And as far as them being 100% recyclable at any point in time, that's actually false, because as I mentioned before, PVC, or number 3 plastic, is the least recyclable plastic on our planet. On Oahu, we only recycle number 1 and number 2. And with number 3, the only kind of recycling that actually goes on is when they're manufacturing the fences and there's some scrap pieces within the factory, then they reuse those. But as far as once a fence has gone up into the community, and they're all worn out and faded, and we've got some photos, if we can maybe just take a look at those photos again, of the really bad looking fences with the mold on it, and you know, there were things growing off them, weren't there, Dean, when we saw them? And also some of them look like they've got, there's disintegration going on. Those are never going to be recycled. And what's so bad about this is that this stuff is very toxic and dangerous, especially when it's burnt. So in other words, it can't go to H power because the burning of PVC will release dangerous dioxins into the air, which are one of the most toxic substances known to science. It actually can kill people or give them lung damage for the rest of their lives. So they can't be taken to H power. That means the only other choice in their, after their 30 years or 20 years, however long they last up in the at the houses, once they're disposed of, they're going to end up in landfill.
Right.
And you know, Oahu's had conversations about landfill space running out and looking to Hawaii Kai and Kailua and other places to start another landfill. And nobody wants a landfill in their area, but the landfill is the only place that all of these plastic fences are going to end up.
Wow, yeah.
So we really want to appeal to the public to look hard at this problem of PVC disposal, and we all need to do something about this. Ask council members to introduce a bill to ban it or don't buy it. But there are governments around the world that are trying to phase out PVC, and you know, various organizations that are making it part of their guiding principles to make sure that they don't buy PVC and they're not building with PVC. So, yeah, it's just really important that people become aware of this threat to our health. And it's really not just, you know, the communities where people are being poisoned, where it's being manufactured, but those dioxins are actually a persistent organic pollutant, meaning that they spread all over the planet. And unfortunately, that becomes part of what goes through the food chain.
Right.
And so these dioxins cause cancer and other things like that. So we really want to do everything we can to reduce the use of PVC.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
So the next toxic plastic we're going to talk about is polystyrene. And most people think of polystyrene, it sounds like styrofoam, which it is. Some of it's styrofoam, which is in the food containers, drink containers, and foam packaging. And the other type of polystyrene is the type of the hard plastic, which is like the plastic utensils, all right? But what we really have to be concerned about is the one that goes into the food goes into the foam containers, because what happens when hot food or drink goes into these foam containers, it leaches styrene into the food and drink, which is very bad because scientists have found that styrene is toxic to the brain and nervous system and has been found to adversely affect red blood cells, liver, kidney, and stomach, and animal cancers. And the EPA did a study in 1986 and found out that styrene is in the fat tissue of every man, woman, and child in the United States, which is really incredible.
Wow.
That's how pervasive this chemical is.
Well, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what happens with these chemicals is that they're released whenever the plastic is stressed.
Right.
So stresses include everything to do with heat. So you're talking about sunlight, when we were talking about those antimony bottle, the plastic water bottles that have antimony in the sunlight, or when we're talking about adding hot food or hot drinks to the styrofoam, then that causes the styrene to come out.
Also, alcohol, oils, and acidic food can also release the...
That's right, acidic drinks can release the chemicals. So you really don't want to microwave food in a plastic container or drinks in a plastic container, because that will cause those chemicals to leach out of the plastic container into your food or drink. Dishwashers also wear down the plastic because of the heat. This is why it's not a good choice to use plastic, especially for hot food and hot drinks.
Of course.
So moving on to the last plastic number that we're going to talk about today is number 7. And typically this is polycarbonate containers. but not always. Sometimes number 7 is everything that doesn't fit in number 1 to 6. But polycarbonate contains a chemical called BPA or bisphenol A.
Right.
And the kinds of containers we're talking about for polycarbonate are things like baby bottles, 5-gallon water dispensers. It even lines the lining of canned foods, and the plastic fillings in your teeth can contain BPA. Now, why BPA is a chemical to avoid is because it's actually created as a synthetic estrogen in the body. A synthetic estrogen, that's what it was really made for. And then they decided, oh, this hardens plastic. So they started putting it into baby bottles, etc. And what happens is that bisphenol A acts like an endocrine disruptor. It wreaks havoc in the hormonal system because it's acting like a synthetic estrogen. And when the Center for Disease Control did a study of Americans, they found that 95% of people tested positive for BPA in their urine.
Oh my gosh.
So most people are getting this into their system,
Yeah.
and 6 billion pounds of this is created every year in the US. And some countries have banned it, but unfortunately it's not banned in the US. So that's something that people really want to avoid. And what I do need to say, although we've only talked about 1, 3, 6, and 7 today, actually all plastic numbers from 1 to 7 have been tested in a 2011 study, and they found that all numbers of plastic have what's called E.A. going on, estrogenic activity, meaning that it contains chemicals that will leach from the plastic and mimic the action of the hormone estrogen.
Oh, wow.
So, in other words, no plastic is better than any other plastic when it comes to EA. And then these chemicals are released when the item is stressed, in other words, heated. Yeah.
I certainly don't need any more estrogen in my system.
Right. So we need to get on to the solutions now of some healthy alternatives to plastic. And the healthy alternatives are glass, ceramic, and stainless steel. When you go shopping, if you choose glass over plastic, then you're saying make more of this, make more glass, and don't make so much plastic. You're kind of voting with your dollars, and this is the way that consumers can bring about change quite quickly, is how they spend their money. And, you know, the other thing that you could do if you need to is if you're having parties and you need a lot of items, containers for people to eat out of, then you can choose compostable vegetable fibers, 100% compostable, and we have a picture of those right now. These ones are made from sugarcane. So that's a much better, healthier alternative to plastic. And what's important for people to know is that when you make these good solutions for your health, you're also helping the environment. And the opposite is true. When you do right via the environment, you're doing right via your health. So both health and environment work together.
Yeah.
And they're intertwined. And you know, sometimes people think it doesn't matter what happens to the environment, but it definitely does, because our health is so intertwined.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So do you have something, the brochure that can be
yes,
shared with the viewers so they
Yes,
can see all the different...
All the different information that we've been going over today is in this plastics brochure that we've created. And this is available on our website, on our education page for people to download. And we also have hard copies when people see us at events. Dean, you're going to show a few solutions to plastics.
Yeah, when we go eat out, if we have leftovers, we bring our glass bowls with us. Okay.
Nice.
Hot and cold food goes in these, which is really great. Also, we also have these reusable drink containers. This is by 50/50. These are actually vacuum insulated, which means that you can either put cold water or hot type of drinks in here as well too.
Yeah.
And what's nice about this, it doesn't, when there's a cold drink in here, it doesn't leak, what do you say?
Condensation.
Right, condensate
Yeah.
off
Right.
the sides.
And I'm showing a hot food container. So you can also get thermoses where you can put your hot food in here. So therefore you don't need any plastics, which is really great.
Perfect.
Yeah. We've got just a little bit of time left, and I just want to talk about a couple more things. PVA is called polyvinyl alcohol, and that's surrounding these pods that people might be using in their dishwashers or in their clothes washing.
Yeah.
And supposedly it dissolves, but plastic never goes away completely. And PVA is dangerous. The chemicals are dangerous to fish. It actually kills fish. So we really recommend that people don't use pods at all. Would really be a helpful thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Great.
I think
That's-
I think that's it for
Well,
us.
we've pretty much come to the end of the show. But I want to say thank you so much. I definitely learned a lot from that, and some things that I knew but maybe didn't want to know. But it's really good to hear how it can, actually affect your health, when I think a lot of people just concentrate on how it affects the environment and forget about themselves as well. So thank you for sharing.
welcome.
For more information, you can visit the website. It's www.B-E-A-C-H.org. Yes. So for any more information, please visit the website. And thank you all so much for watching. And thank you to Livable Hawaii Kai Hui and the Ōlelo Community Studio for arranging this monthly community show. Thanks for watching. And thanks you guys for coming today.
You're welcome.